India. We are actually at our season finale today, and we've come to the end of what we hope has been a very informative season for all of you all. Along the way, we've spoken about a bunch of different topics under the umbrella of voice technology. We've talked about how you can build your own brand, how you can create experiences to delight customers, how you can maximize value out of your Google Assistant, and what's the Google tech stack for developers. So if you're interested, you should certainly go back and check out all the different videos and episodes that we've done so far. And today, of course, I'm joined by our resident expert, Sriraman Tyagarajan. Welcome to the show, Sri.
Hello, Preeti. Hello, everyone. Very excited to be part of this. And this is a very special episode, like you said. It's Voice for B2B.
I know we have an action-packed episode planned out for our listeners and our viewers as always. And today we're going to be talking about how voice technology can be of value to enterprises and to businesses. So what's on the agenda today, Sri?
So far, we have been focusing on a lot of consumer use cases, or rather B2C use cases. In today's episode, let's see how voice helps in the B2B and for enterprises.
Can you talk a little about what is driving voice adoption within organizations?
So voice is universal, its benefits are universal, right? So you could be the same person who uses voice at home, voice in your car, and when you get to work or when you go to work, there could be a lot of use cases that voice can help you with.
Actually, Sri, I read a Gartner report that said that 25% of all employees are likely to be interacting on a voice platform by the year 2023. So what do you think is driving this increasing interest in voice platforms, and can you share some use cases for people who are tuning in and who probably want ideas on how they can get started?
That number comes as no surprise. In fact, I would be expecting more people to start using it, because we know that consumers are already using voice to get a lot of things done in their life. 30% of all Google search is on voice. So even at work, they might have the same habit. So habituated customers who use voice in their daily life are likely to expect their organization to be voice first, have all the information available for them in a voice first format. So that being said, let's look at 4 broad areas where voice for enterprises fits in. One is productivity, second is automation, third is innovation, and fourth is inclusion. So these are the 4 points that I broadly say that voice has a role to play in B2B.
That sounds like a great way of classifying voice experiences. So let's get started right away, and can you talk a little about voice in the context of productivity?
One of my favorite example is Microsoft. In fact, in an Apple event, they invited Microsoft by introducing them, saying, who knows productivity more than Microsoft, right? So that's what they stand for. And they have introduced Cortana, their voice assistant, inside Outlook app, whether it's iOS or Android, which can read out your email, calendar alerts. So imagine, even if you are multitasking, commuting, or with work from home, we are cooking and doing a lot of things at once, the Cortana can read out the email or your memo, or pretty much works across all the Microsoft products. So that really enhances your productivity. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. The Play My Emails feature is allowing you to do more with your time, and we've all realized how important and valuable that can be during lockdown. So can you give us a few more examples of how voice is enabling us to be more efficient?
Preeti, would be surprised to know there's a study by Goldman Sachs which says in a day more than 2 hours is spent looking for information by an average knowledge worker. So knowledge worker is pretty much any white collar job, and just imagine 2 hours a day is spent on just looking for information. So that itself is a very profound use case to solve, right? So if you want, like, what is the sales in a particular region last week, or if you're a banking teller, let's say you are a employee sitting in the teller, and somebody comes and says, what is the exchange rate for euros, right? You don't have to log into the system and ask. Maybe you can have a voice assistant next to you, and you can instantly get the answer, which is connected to the bank server, right? And the information is updated real time. So just getting the right information at the right time itself is a huge deal, and I can go on with a list of tasks that voice can make a big impact in terms of improving productivity.
Absolutely, Shri. And the main thing is that you can do all of this without being bound to a screen, and having the freedom to move around while you get things done is so valuable. Can you talk a little about few startups, or can you talk a little about enterprises that are innovating with voice for productivity?
So Preeti, there are a lot of voice first use cases companies that have built solutions. One of them is called Dialpad. It's a startup that focuses on voice intelligence, right? So they call it as VI as opposed to AI. It is of course applied AI. It can help in conferencing calls, but it does a lot more than that. It can analyze the call, and if the same technology is used for contact center, it can even analyze the responses and the sentiments of the customer care. It can give you a CSAT score or customer satisfaction score and so on. In fact, Google has something similar. It's called as contact center AI. The technology pretty much is similar to the backend that powers Google Assistant. So there's a lot that's happening in the enterprise space in terms of increasing productivity using voice.
So voice apps are able to parse speech and extract meaning out of it, because it's converting it into text, and it's able to allow you to discover information that is happening on the fly. That's a pretty profound use case, Sri. Can you talk a little about how voice is enabling people to extract information on the go?
Preeti, transcription of information is a big space. In other words, this is about making information universally accessible to all stakeholders concerned, right? So it could be in a healthcare, a doctor could have real-time patient health record access. It could be for a field executive who's on the field and asking for where is my next meeting, right? So the classic traveling salesman problem, voice comes to help, so on and so forth. So it could be applied across sectors and verticals. In fact, there is one prototype we built in Agraya. This is for a project company which does large infrastructure projects like building power plants and bridges. So they have like a 900 engineering people in their team, and these are people who are on the site, and they have to inspect those large projects on a day-to-day basis and update. So because they are in a very ambient environment, it's not really friendly for them to write notes, or it's a lot tedious to do that. Now we are enabling them to take voice notes and capture the information right there, and that gets transcripted and it's tagged and it's searchable, and the engineers have updated the report in situ so that they don't have to come back to office and try to remember what they saw, etc., etc. So there are a lot of such use cases, and it all comes down to making information accessible, and voice is really great at it.
As a creative person, I really appreciate that, Sri. So many times when I'm brainstorming, I'm always nervous that I'm going to lose out on some amazing brainwave that I had because I haven't been able to note it down. And having a voice assistant to transcribe my thoughts as and when they occur could be amazing. Can you talk a little about how voice is enabling search, and how is it allowing people across the enterprise to look for information that they need?
Preeti, there's an agency in New York called Barbarian. What they did is connect their Slack app, that is used for internal communications with voice, and all the chat and the information that is exchanged in the Slack is now transcripted and searchable and tagged. So it's available for all employees. It's also archived, so it's available for future records. And they saw that if they had this problem statement, they realized that a lot more people could have it, and they made this entire code base as an open source, so anyone could use it, right? So that's a very, very interesting use case of making your own internal information available across all stakeholders inside the company.
That's so right, Sri. A lot of the times we have the information, we just don't know where it's stored, how to access it. So voice is solving that problem real time. Can you talk a little about how else voice is helping us do more and derive more value from our everyday?
Let's take the HR department in a company. They get a lot of questions on how many leaves do I have left, is December 12th an holiday, and so on and so forth. And imagine if you are an enterprise at scale, hundreds of employees asking pretty much the same question every other day to the HR colleagues. That's really daunting, right? So imagine if you are able to give them a voice interface, and they could ask how many leaves do they have left. It could say something like you have 4 PL left, 3 CL left, so on and so forth. Or they could even apply for a leave and it could send a notification to their manager for approval. Manager could also approve it with his or her voice, and the entire journey is now seamless for managing one's leave. This is just one use case I'm saying in the HR department. You can use this for candidate shortlisting, you can use this for open vacancy situation, so on and so forth, right? And you could even have some kind of office internal memo that's made available on demand, right? So if there's a message from the leadership and if people couldn't see it or if they want to access it later, that could be made available. So there are so many use cases just within one department of an enterprise. Now you could extrapolate this to sales. That could be very different use cases. You could do it for operations management if you are a company with a lot of supply chain, and it's up to you on how you use voice, but every use case comes back to increasing and enhancing employee productivity in a B2B space.
So if you are an enterprise owner or you're a decision maker within a large organization, I hope that you're listening. There are so many incredibly powerful ways in which you can use voice across the enterprise. You can, automate or digitize the information that already exists and make it easier for people to say, get HR related information, understand the company policies better, or maybe if you're a salesperson, you can take notes on the go and update inventory using a voice application. Your imagination is the only limit here. So Shri, can you talk a little about how voice comes into play in the context of automation?
That's right, Preeti. There's a lot of routine tasks that we do and which could simply be automated, and for enterprises that really kind of enhances efficiency here. For example, hospitality industry, right? You could have a guest check-in, check-out that can be automated. You can have a clean my room. That's easier than calling and the front office answering it and then scheduling the cleanup service. So there are so many such automation use cases that can work in a enterprise setting.
So Shri, whenever I hear about automation, I hear a classic example of smart homes or connected devices or IoT. How is voice playing a role in this domain?
Imagine you are a assembly line or a manufacturer and you have a lot of order of precedence, path dependence, and there's a lot of variables into considerations here, and you could really use voice to automate. You could build if statements. If this happens, then that must happen. So the IoT and voice for RPA, robotic process automation, are made for each other. But let's take something that we all come across a lot more frequently, the rise of smart homes. So if you are a real estate brand, now smart homes are becoming default when builders are offering their home, right? So all the appliances, gadgets, lights and equipments are coming with Zigbee or Wi-Fi protocol, and they seamlessly talk with voice assistants. So the entire home automation as an industry is benefiting from voice and adding convenience to the consumers.
So Shri, can you talk a little about innovation? Can you share some cool out-of-the-box use cases where voice is helping create brand new ways of offering services, or it's creating brand new products?
Preeti, one of the most popular brand in the world, Starbucks, had a great insight that 73% of all customers order the same thing again and again. I know we are creatures of habit, and they built a voice experience where you could order your coffee through Alexa or Google Assistant and then go to the nearest Starbucks and pick it up. So thereby you are skipping the queue, and statistically this saw 16% higher engagement. That is innovation because you are giving convenience to your customers. There is another use case that is extremely profound. There's a company called Canary Speech. They are a health tech company which uses conversational AI and voice to identify or diagnose diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's and depressions, and it has been actively doing clinical trials to push this agenda further. So just imagine using voice to check your stress levels, anxiety, tiredness, migraine, so on and so forth, and the innovation here is as good as it gets.
That's so interesting, Shri. Did you know that a canary is actually a bird that used to be used in coal mines by miners, And many a time, a canary bird would be placed in a coal mine, and as soon as the oxygen levels deplete, the canary bird would usually die first, and in doing so alert all the other miners so that they could probably escape or get out of the mine. So it was a preventative, and that's where the phrase canary in a coal mine actually comes from. So it's kind of cool that, canary speech played on that, and now voice is actually enabling people to take preventative action and get alerted to possible health critical situations early on and in time. That's amazing.
That's an incredible story, Preeti. Thanks for sharing. I didn't know that.
Awesome, Shri. You're the one who is usually sharing your insights and your gyan with our audiences, so I just thought I'd do my 2 bits today. So we've spoken, Shri, about voice in the context of healthcare. Can you talk a little about how voice is helping transform the workplace of tomorrow and make it more inclusive?
Absolutely, Preeti. Voice is very versatile in terms of its accessibility, right? So it can transform a workplace to be a lot friendlier to people with some amount of disabilities or maybe vision impairment, and it makes the workplace a lot more inclusive, and that's one of the strongest pillar how enterprises can use voice to make their workplace a lot friendlier for everyone.
That's amazing, Shri. Do you want to do a quick roundup for us and take us through some of the top use cases and some of the top insights that we've discussed so far?
Yeah, Preeti. So today we saw, voice can help productivity by making information accessible to people with their voice. It can enhance automation by, making routine tasks to be connected with IoT or connected devices and using voice on top of it. We saw how it is great for innovation. Starbucks increasing its customer satisfaction and engagement while making them stand lesser in a queue. And of course, it's also inclusive, that it could help anyone and everyone in an organization to have a level playing field, even if somebody has some form of impairment or disability. So that's voice for enterprise that we spoke about today.
That was a very useful roundup, Shri. Now, do you have any advice for enterprise owners or decision makers within a business context? How should they go about thinking about integrating voice within their organizational workflow?
Yeah, for sure. One, there is the Google Assistant available, which is open and free for you to get started. It's a lot versatile and malleable. You could customize it to your use cases, or if you want to build your own voice bot, that's also possible, but that's going to be a little more expensive and time consuming affair. That being said, one thing that is unnegotiable is security. Enterprises have to take security at the heart of developing voice experiences. So access token, archiving, records management, how are we making this information a lot more secure? The entire process has to be secure, and if it is in the space of banking or healthcare, then there's a lot of sensitive data and information being handled. So what is the consent you have with your customers on all this? So all these are not challenges, but just the questions an enterprise must answer before getting into their voice first experiences. And let me assure you, all of these are solvable problems. I just wanted to bring it up that this security and compliance and privacy has to be in the heart of the strategy and not an afterthought. So that's what it is.
For sure. I think security, privacy, and compliance are all super important issues to keep in mind before you begin to design any enterprise-wide voice application. This brings us to the end of this episode. Shri, thank you so much. You've been a great person to interview all through the season. You've been super generous with your insights and your time, and I've really enjoyed picking your brain, and I hope that our audiences have also found your insights valuable and learned from you.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Thoroughly appreciate you asking engaging questions as well, and stay tuned with Voice Talks as we bring you a lot of webinars and knowledge on all things voice.
For sure, like Shri said, watch out for Voice Talks India. We're going to be back with another edition around a theme. It's going to be voice for marketers, so all you marketers, watch out for that event coming up, that free webinar where a bunch of industry experts get together to give you the latest updates from the world of voice technology. This brings us to the end of the Voice India podcast and video series. We really enjoyed putting this season together, and we hope that you were able to derive value from our episodes where we try to simplify concepts around voice technology. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening. This is your host, Preeti Prakash, signing off. Bye bye.